Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I've got a dating advice video for you, and we're going to be talking about how to avoid time wasters when you're dating. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So the first point I want to make is when someone flakes or kind of cancels plans and things like that without giving you an alternative, just give them one more chance to see, basically. Just to give them one more chance to not flake on you. So what's an example of someone flaking or someone changing the plans or whatever? Cancelling plans, rather. So someone who just says to you, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make tonight, or sorry, I can't make whenever you've planned a date, and then they don't offer an alternative time. Okay, so that's someone that flakes. So what you do, if you've had this happen to you, or when this happens to you, if it's going to happen to you in the future, when someone flakes like this, do no contact for a week, apply the no contact rule, do it for 1 week, and then ask them out again, okay? If they haven't offered that alternative time. Now, if they say, oh, sorry, I can't meet you on Saturday, but I can meet you on Sunday, or I can't meet you at 5, but I can meet you at 7, that's different. That means that probably something has come up, and they just need to change the plans because they've, something's come up, basically. We all have lives, things that go on. Sometimes someone can be late from work. Sometimes, they're stuck in traffic, or they've had to do something in their day that took up a lot more time than what they realized. We all have occasions where something like that happens to us, okay? Like for me today, like I've had to work later today. You can probably tell by the video being a bit darker that things came up, okay? So if they don't offer that alternative time and they just say, sorry, I can't make it, then wait 1 week, do no contact for a week. Obviously say to them before doing no contact with them, hey, that's no worries, that's no problem. And then you can also kind of give like a cheeky response as well and say, well, I'm still going, so I'm still going and doing this thing, so I'm sorry you're missing out. And then give like a little winky face or something like that, like a winky emoji, just something a bit cheeky, because that can come across as quite playful. And it shows also as well that you didn't take it too personally. Whereas if you just say something like, no problem, then that can maybe make it look like that you're bothered by it. And basically when someone does this, you want to make it appear like you're not bothered by it, okay? So, because that, and the reason why that is because that shows them that you're affected by them, and that maybe they will feel a bit bad or a bit awkward about reaching out to you again. Whereas if you say something cheeky like, well, I'm still going to go, sorry about all the fun you're going to miss out on, and give them like a little cheeky winky face, that's going to, make them feel like you're not bothered by it, like they can reach out to you again if they feel like they want to see you. But if not, then wait a week, do no contact for a week, for about 7 days. I'll give it a whole week, maybe even 8 days. And then ask them out again, say, hey, when you're free to get together? And if it just sort of fizzles out, then, and they don't do that, or they flake again, then you know not to mess with that person again, not to talk to that person again. Because obviously, for whatever reason, they're not really that interested in seeing you. Don't take it too personally. Perhaps there could be a lot of things going on in the background, like a common one that I see, and it's kind of surprisingly common, is you start talking to someone, you arrange a date, and they cancel the plans, right? And basically what's happened is an ex or someone that they're more interested in has started talking to them. So like it could be a crush that they've had for a long time, or like I said, it could be an ex that's come back, right? It could be someone basically who they've got more of an emotional investment in because they've known them for longer. Whereas you might have just met them on a dating app and you've only been speaking for like a few days and they haven't even met up with you yet and they don't have that much connection with you, right? But if they've been romantically interested in someone else a lot more for a lot longer, then when that person comes back into their life, they're probably going to ditch you to go back with the person that they have more emotional investment in, right? So, for example, right? Let's put it so you're kind of like in that person's shoes, okay? So what happens is that, let's say you have an ex, right, that you have broken up with, that you would really love to get back together with, or perhaps you have a huge crush on someone, right? And during this time, you start talking to someone online, on a dating app, and you arrange to meet up, and then suddenly this crush says to you, oh, I'd love to meet up with you, I'd love to hang out with you, or your ex wants to come back. You're going to want to hang out with the person who you have more emotional investment in, especially if you're deeply in love with them still. Okay, so you got to look at it if you were in the same position as them. Okay, sometimes you just got to do that in order to feel a little bit better, because sometimes it can seem like a massive rejection when someone says to you, hey, look, they just cancel the plans, and then they don't say anything to you, and they don't try to rectify that. You just got to remember that, sometimes other things can be going on in the background, or it even could be that they're just, realize that, perhaps you're just not for them. And it's okay to have that. It's okay, because you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, just like not everyone is your cup of tea, right? I've had experiences like that. I remember when I went out on a date with a girl who I thought from the photos, yeah, she looked really sweet, she looked really cute. And then we went on the date, and I discovered that she was she was a bit more butch basically than what I was expecting. And I typically like really feminine women. And so hanging out with her was like, it kind of felt like hanging out with a dude, basically. And it really turned me off. So sometimes that can happen, right? Sometimes you can meet up with someone and you realize that, oh God, actually there's something about you, something about your personality that is kind of just putting me off. And I don't really know what it is, but I can't help it. I'm just not feeling the attraction. So sometimes that can happen as well. So another way that you can avoid time wasters and wasting your time is to ask them out immediately after you have a feeling or you get interested in them, okay? So this works really well for situations where you actually know someone already, or let's say they're in your class, or they're someone that you work with. Although if they are someone that you work with, I do recommend really not really pursuing that kind of person, because it can mess up and make things awkward in your job if it doesn't work out. But if you get attraction for someone, ask them out immediately. Don't wait. Don't try to be their friend first and doing that kind of thing. Because I think sometimes we try to do the respectful thing, like, okay, well, I don't want them to feel like I'm just interested in having sex with them, or I'm just interested in their looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be friends with them first and get to know them, and just give them time to get to know me, and then I'll ask them out. But the point is that kind of thing rarely works out. If you start acting like a friend to begin with, right, they're going to treat you like a friend, and they're going to see you as a friend. And also as well, by not displaying your attraction, by not asking them out immediately, you're being inauthentic, you see. Okay, because that's not your true intention. Your true intention is you're attracted to them. You really like them. So when you kind of become like, oh, I'm going to just fly under the radar a little bit, I'm just going to be their friend first, what that is showing is that you are not being yourself. And when you are kind of hiding your feelings like that, it makes you act differently, right? And it makes you look inauthentic and not right, basically. They're going to sense something is off with you if you're being pally with them, but that's not your true intention. Okay? So it's better to just be flat out blunt to begin with and just ask them out and just say like, hey, look, I think you're really cute. This may seem a bit random, but I'd really love to hang out with you. When are you free? It's better to just do that, okay, rather than trying to be their friend first and being authentic. Unless, obviously, that is something that you actually want, but you have to be honest with yourself. Do you really want to be friends with them? Or would you want something romantic with them? Don't fool yourself. If you want something romantic with them, and that is higher on your priority list than being their buddy, then you need to make that your true intention. Because, especially women can kind of sense if a man is attracted to them, but is kind of just pretending to be their friend. Okay, they can sense that quite easily. So if you're a man watching this, if you are trying to be friends with a woman first, but you're really, really super attracted to her, she already can kind of tell that you're attracted to her, and now she knows that you're being inauthentic, okay? A lot of women can sense that. Even if they're not 100% sure, there'll be something inside of them thinking, I think maybe he likes me. But he hasn't said anything about it, but I think he does, but he's being my friend. And then you start being friends, and then she only starts to see you as a friend. And that's how that's how you can wind up in friend zone. So it's better to just be honest. It's better to just be it's better to be authentic from the start and say that you like someone. And just, tell them that, yeah, let's hang out. When are you free? And then see what they say. So this leads me into walk away from those who friend zone you. So if you ask a woman out, or a guy, whoever you are, you're asking someone out, and they say, oh, I only see you as a friend, then you got to walk away from that. If you are super attracted to them, and you know that being friends with them is going to make you feel bad, and it's going to make you feel mopey, and you're kind of around them all the time, and they're talking to you about all the guys or girls that they're dating, and it's going to make you feel bad about yourself, then don't pick friendship. If you want something romantic with them, and that's authentically in your heart, be like, okay, like, I'm not interested in friendship. I'm sorry. I see you romantically. I'm really attracted to you. I don't think I could be your friend. I'm really sorry. And then you walk away from them and you go into no contact. Okay? And the last point I want to make is avoid people who come onto you that are in relationships or married. Okay? Because usually the reason they do this is because they're not getting a need fulfilled by their current partner or the person that they're married to. So they're seeking it outside of their relationship. But usually, like most of the time, they're not going to leave their spouse. They're not going to leave their boyfriend or girlfriend for you. They're just not going to do it. Even if they keep on promising that they will, usually the cases that I've personally seen, that rarely happens. And the only reason they're doing it is because they want attention that their partner or their current spouse isn't giving them. Okay? And they may even be just doing it just to get attention. Like, sometimes people are just flirtatious, and even though they're not going to do anything to like cheat on their partner, the person they're married to, they're not going to do that. Sometimes people are just flirtatious, and it may seem like they're flirting with you and that they really like you, and when actually really they're just, that's just who they are. And perhaps they like getting that attention. Perhaps they like a little bit of flirtatious banter in the workplace or when they go to school or something like that. And they're not really actually into you, but they just like being adored, basically. So you need to watch out for that. It's best to avoid people that are already in relationships and already married. Find someone who is actually emotionally available right now, currently, or someone who is single, right, and who is interested in you. If someone who's married or someone who's in a relationship starts hitting on you, I would recommend to walk away, because I don't know, I think there's a lot of bad karma in that, right? If you start messing with someone else's person, right? So even if they're not, even if it's the other person who that person is facilitating that, even if they're the one that's flirting with you, the right thing to do, the honorable thing to do, the thing that I would do would be to just walk away from that person. Okay, so that's how you can avoid some time wasters. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.